So the DangerMarlow situation just got so much worse because it's not just one person cheating. You see a YouTuber named Marlowww just exposed that Rapture, who is literally the best mace PvP player in Minecraft, is part of the same operation as Marlow. And honestly, when you see all the evidence connecting these two, it's gonna blow your mind. But before I break down the full investigation and show you guys exactly how Rapture is connected to Marlow, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video because this situation keeps getting crazier. So let me start with some context about who Rapture is, because Rapture isn't just some random player. He hosts high tier 1 and mace PvP on MCTiers and is widely regarded as the best mace PvP player in Minecraft at its peak. And given everything that had just been exposed about Marlow, like the #1 player across all modes being revealed as DangerMario, with a years-long fake operation, the community's tolerance for suspicious players had reached zero. So Marlowww's video argues that Rapture is not just another cheating player, but is in fact a direct extension of the same operation that produced Marlow. And the video's core argument is exposing Rapture's in-game cheats, exposing the corruption within MCTiers that allowed him to operate, and exposing Rapture's true identity and his connection to DangerMario. So let me start with the timeline, because on March 26, 2025, an account with zero prior history on competitive PvP servers like PvP Legacy appeared out of nowhere. Like there was no record of this player developing, grinding rankings, or losing matches on the way up. The account just showed up. But then by May 18, 2025, which is less than 2 months later, Rapture had already achieved high tier 3 and moved up to low tier 2. And the progression from completely unranked to low tier 2 in under 2 months was already extraordinary. But the next phase is where it gets crazy, because when Marlow updated the kit to nerf Elytra and Pulse, Rapture opened a tier 2 ticket and went 4-0 against essentially every opponent until he was facing high tier 1 players. And the speed of this run happening immediately after a major kit change that most players would need time to adapt to was one of the first major red flags. So now let me show you guys the in-game evidence of what the cheating actually looks like. First, that's the pole lock, and in one clip, Rapture instantly locks onto Marlow's pole the moment it leaves her hand. And the speed and precision is described as impossible for a human player, because poles move quickly and unpredictably. So tracking one instantly requires either extraordinary reflexes that no player has consistently demonstrated, or software assistance that automatically detects and locks on the projectiles. But the most technically striking clip involves a stun breach combo, where Rapture predicts Marlow using a shield stun when the wind charge particles are completely blocking any visual indication, like there's no visual information available to react to this. And Rapture not only predicts it but executes the response, going from breach to stun to breach with everything completed within a single game tick, and executing a multi-step combo with zero hesitation within one tick is described as mechanically impossible without software executing the inputs automatically. And there's also auto totem swap, where Rapture consistently and instantly moves his totem from inventory to hotbar to offhand without any observable manual input pattern. And Rapture never fails this swap, which in itself evidence of automation, because legitimate players mess this up sometimes, but Rapture never does. But dude, there's also the shield breaking thing, which is one of the most specific accusations, because Rapture breaks shields instantly with no signs of drag clicking or any known technique, and he claims there's some legitimate technique, but Marlowww argues that this is disproven by a clip where Rapture damages a shield rather than destroys it, which wouldn't happen if he had a consistent technique, because if the meta were reliable, it would destroy every time. And if a legitimate technique to one-tap shields existed, it would have been discovered by players like Alien Overdose, who dedicated massive amounts of time to mastering this game mode. But now, let me tell you about the screenshot history, because this is where it gets really damning. When Rapture was originally screenshot in July 2025, the results were terrible for him because under screenshot conditions, Rapture could not land a single stun slam or breach. Like the mechanical performance that had defined his competitive record simply disappeared. And Marlowww shows screenshots from the regulator group chat during the screenshot, and most significantly, Marlow's initial assessment was that Rapture was more likely an alt but not 100% cheating. And then in the same conversation, Marlow acknowledged that she remembered this hack happening, which is so significant given what we now know about Marlow's own cheating history. and despite other high-level stuff noting that Rapture couldn't perform any of his signature moves on the screen share, both Marlow and Guy dismissed this as nerves and lag. But the moment Rapture stopped being a screenshot, he immediately became mechanically insane again. And there were other screenshots where Rapture failed, like when Raid Lotus screenshot him, multiple people concluded there was enough evidence to assume Rapture had an unfair advantage. But Marlow dismissed the screenshot as not enough proof, which given Marlow's own position as a cheater reads as a powerful person protecting a connected player. But dude, the corruption is honestly one of the most important parts, because the stealth level protection Rapture received allowed him to survive multiple failed screenshots, and the primary suspect is Guy, who is DangerMario's best friend, the owner of PvP Club, and the developer of the cheat client Marlow used. And one of the most pointed pieces of evidence is that Rapture received the rank of mod on the MCPvP Discord server without having said a single word in the server after only 5 days of joining. And this happened at the same time the application for the mod role had just opened. And the implication is clear, like Rapture didn't apply through the normal process. The role was given to him because of a pre-existing connection with Guy, who had the authority to grant it. So the structure of protection mirrors exactly what was documented in the Marlow situation. But now let me tell you who Rapture actually is, because this is where everything connects back to DangerMario. After research and consultation with community members, specifically someone referred to as Gunheim, Shock Lounge concludes that Rapture is most likely a player known as HideXL. And Gunheim provides the following profile, which is that he's an anarchy player from 2020. A close friend of DangerMario for over 8 years, which goes way back before the Marlow operation even existed. Known for annoying people on alternate accounts which mirrors DangerMario's own history. Known for having a massive ego, has maintained close contact with DangerMario consistently. And DangerMario physically met up with HideXL in California. And dude, the California connection is really significant because Rapture is also identified as living in California. So this geographic overlap combined with HideXL's 8-year friendship with DangerMario is strong evidence connecting the two. And Shock Lounge theorizes that DangerMario would have known his exposure as Marlow was eventually a possibility. So by setting up a second cheating player operated by a close loyal friend who lives in a different location, he could extend the operation's reach, provide HideXL with income and fame, and use HideXL as a continuation even if Marlow was exposed. And HideXL's motivation is framed as practical, like an old player with an 8-year friendship who needed income. So DangerMario provided the cheat client, the same cheats he used for Marlow, and guided HideXL through achieving high tier 1. And as Shock Lounge frames it, DangerMario would have been the brains of the operation, and Rapture simply just had to be the hands. But what really seals this connection are the shared elements between Marlow and Rapture. First, they both use AI voice changes, and Shock Lounge plays audio of both back to back, showing both are being processed through the same category of software. Second, they use the same cheats because the cheat behavior observed in Rapture's gameplay mirrors the patterns identified in Marlow's gameplay. Third, they have the same thumbnail style, like the visual presentation of Rapture's content mirrors Marlow's content style. And fourth, they have the same editing style because the overall production follows the same pattern as Marlow's. And when you look at the list of shared traits between HideXL and Rapture, it becomes even more obvious. Because both live in California, both have a very close relationship with DangerMario, both are known within the old generation Crystal PvP community for being annoying, both are known for having large egos, both have used hacks blatantly, and both are described as unable to keep their secrets secure. And dude, what this means for MCTiers is honestly devastating, because the Marlow situation established that the #1 player across all modes was a fraud, but the Rapture situation establishes that the #1 maze player was also a fraud, and that both frauds were connected to the same person using the same cheat client, protected by the same institutional figure which is Guy, and operating through a coordinated network rather than as isolated bad actors. So this is not one cheating player who slipped through the cracks. This is a systematic coordinated operation to place fake players at the top of multiple competitive rankings, simultaneously with institutional protection ensuring those players survive scrutiny, and the integrity of MCTiers' entire competitive tier list is brought into question. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, do you think Rapture is actually HideXL, and do you think this proves there was a coordinated operation between DangerMario and his friends to take over the entire competitive scene? And honestly, how many other players do you think might be part of this network? Because if that's 2, there could be more. And if you made it this far into the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe because we're trying to grow the channel and your support means everything. Don't forget to join my Discord in the description to claim your OG role. And anyways, goodbye!